Well, hello everyone, I'm back. As I told you on my previous video, I'm actually making a series of videos, of instructional videos, to show people how to use some features of Lightwave 3D, maybe After Effects. This video, it's basically about a challenge, basically a challenge I had a couple of months ago, when somebody told me that they had a base model and they had created all the morphs in separate models, just the way they do for 3ds Max. But Lightwave actually doesn't recognize that, so in order to be able to use it in Lightwave, I have to blend those different meshes into one single mesh with morph maps applied. So this is the base mesh I was provided with, and this is one of the morphs they created, and this is another of the morphs they created. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so before we move any further, there's something very important we have to take into account before we perform this operation. The first thing will be that the base mesh and the morphing meshes have to have the same amount of polygons. So we're going to check here our wireframe, and you can roughly see that they have the same amount of polygons, but if you want to be perfect about it, you just have to go to the statistics panel, which you obtain by pressing the letter W on your keyboard, and you see here that we have 15,660 polygons for the first layer, which is the same amount that we have for the second layer and the third layer. Now, the other thing that you have to take into account before we start is that the meshes have to be placed in exactly the same position. So you can see here that they're exactly aligned to the origin. Because once Lightwave starts to reference the position of each point, you don't want to have your mesh in a different place, because your animation is going to look funky. So just make sure you have that aligned and that you have the same amount of polygons. So now that we have this, let's begin. Okay, so how do we perform this operation? So basically, let's get closer to her faces. The morph is going to be applied to her face, and you just have the base layer selected, and we're not going to select the second layer, but we want to see what that layer is. So you just select the lower part of the layer so it's visible for you, but it's not active. And then we're going to come here to the map tab, and under map we're going to go to morph, and we're going to see an option called background to morph. So we're just going to press that, and that's gonna ask the name of that layer, so that will be the smile. We just name it, and now Lightwave is processing the information, the vector position, and it's conforming the first mesh into the second mesh. So now we have this model, which was our base, with a morph created, and that morph is called smile. So if we go back to the base, it's going to be like we had the model before, and now if we go to the smile morph, it's going to be exactly the same as the second morph. Okay, so now we're going to follow the same steps in order to get the morph in the third layer. So we have this sad face here. Now we're going to follow the same steps. Just select the base model. It has to be set to base morph. Select the morphing layer, and now just go to map, morph, background to morph, and let's call this one sadness. And we just wait for Lightwave to reference all the points. And now, as you can see, the base model has conformed to the morphing layer. Right. Okay, so now that we have created our morphs, we can get rid of these models as we don't need them anymore. So this is just extra information on your disk, and you will see that none of the information is going to be lost, as Lightwave already referenced all the positions of the points and conformed them to the old meshes we have here. So you don't need those anymore, and this is the way you create one single mesh with morphs that you obtain from different models. So if you have any questions regarding this topic, just let me know, shoot me an email or something, and see you next time.